Hello. Good afternoon. See, I got it right by 5 minutes. How are you? Well, hey, Gina, how you doing, girl? What's happening? How's our favorite foul mouth skank? You know, I had to come up with something off the top of my head on the fly. Happy Saturday. It's like the hinges of hell in Florida right now. My God. We are at the point of the year where I only go outside to walk the dog. That's it. And oh, he's in. Okay. I was just going to say that my husband was mowing the grass. I didn't tell him I was going live. And I kept hearing the big riding lawnmower going by the window. But now I hear him out rattling around getting ice in the kitchen. So I think he must be done. Hey, Fairy Dust, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, my goodness, children. Well, let's see. I wasn't on YouTube at all yesterday. And why am I always surprised at the scope of what can happen in this dump in 24 hours? It's insane. It's funny because I always say, put the YouTube down. When you come back, like you can put it down, walk away, come back, and you can catch up in like an hour. Everything is the same, while at the same time, a million things have happened, but it's always the same shit. Oh, Gina. Well, then she's not going to understand. If you did it in a classy way, that shit will be totally lost on her. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And looked, I hope you looked at the camera and said, eat your heart out, bitch. And actually, I agreed. I'm not going to say what the comment was, but you know which one I'm talking about. Somebody left a comment on that video and told me that, you know what it is. I'm not going to say it. If you don't, I'll enlighten you in a little while. Yes, girl, that's exactly. You know, they say living well is the best revenge. Well, looking good is that's also good revenge. Especially when you're talking about very shallow, stupid people who, oh, if you guys want to hear something hilarious, actually, I might just, no, you know what? I'm going to tell you to go to Nonsense's page and her latest live stream. I left a comment about hey, Mike Stevens. Hi, Jenny. How you doing? Actually, you know what? I am going to read it. I'm going to read a comment that I left on Nonsense's latest video about the whole Marvin debacle. And full disclosure, let me try that again. Full disclosure, I do not follow the Dre and Marvon McRae story. I do know the basic 411 that everybody else knows. I am not deeply entrenched in that case. It's all I can do to keep up with oh God. It's funny because being a creator on here and even being a sub, it's almost like you have to pick your poison. Spin that wheel and throw that ball. And if it lands on, red 27, well, that means that you make, it's like you almost have to pick either a creator or a story that you want to really get tits deep in. I don't know how else to explain it. Hey, Brittany, how you doing? Because there's just so much that goes on, and you can't. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm only willing to lose so much of my life to all this bullshit. So you do have to kind of pick, like anything, whatever you identify with, a story or a creator, whatever. Oh, that's what you kind of really get involved in. So while I am not deeply into the Dre and Marvon situation, I know the bare bones, and I'm very much a fan of nonsense. So I like to, even though I can't watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing, I do really try, and because she always shows up for me. And I'm sure half the time she doesn't give a shit what I'm talking about. So I left a comment on her video. I think it was yesterday. So I'm going to read it to you. Mainly, I'm going to blow my own horn a little bit because, I think it is some of my finer work. And those of you who know me, well, you know that I don't just run my mouth. I like to think I'm skilled in the verbal and written arts. So I'm just going to read you. I'm going to read the comment I left on the video because it's about our girl Molly. And I just thought it was kind of cute myself. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll share with the class. Okay, let me find. And then a couple of the things that I forgot to talk about the other day, we are going to talk about today. All right, so first for my brilliant comment, if I do say so myself, like, well, shit, everybody else on here blows their own horn. Why shouldn't I? And I'm smarter than a lot of the ones that blow their own horns, so toot toot. Okay, this video was entitled Failed YouTuber Molly Golightly makes a return by spreading rumors once again. And this was this was actually 6 days ago. Okay, so y'all, not only am I not great at responding to my comments in a timely fashion, and I apologize for that, but what I try and do to make up for it is, and I've always tried to do more than just an emoji. I try and, at least maybe leave a sentence or two in response, because I feel like if you take your time to come and leave a comment for me, which we all know helps boost us in the algorithm, I just feel like that's the least I can do. And let's face it, I have like an almost invisible channel, so I have the luxury of doing that. It's not like I'm dealing with thousands of comments. So, but I do encourage you, if you are interested in the Marvon Dre saga, Nonsense has, well, she would be the place to go. I'm sure there are others that also talk about it and are as informed, but she really, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this was the case that actually brought her to YouTube from Facebook. I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me. Hey, SoFlo Mama, how you doing? I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, Brittany. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Brittany's comment says, "I see Betty got her hair cut." Yeah, after the cotton candy that, whatever hasn't already melted off in the shower because it's like, dehydrated spandex threads. Yeah, I guess you could. I had to laugh. The bitch said, "Well, I went to the hairdresser the other day." I'm like, "Bitch, why didn't you do your roots if you went to the hairdresser the other day?" Oh, yeah, that's right, because you don't even have hair anymore. You've just got, well, when it's wet, it's wilted spandex fibers, cotton candy. And when it's dry, it just snaps like a twig. That was hilarious. Sitting up there all proud of herself. Well, when I went to the hairdresser yesterday, bitch, when you decide you want a real hairdresser and not one that works at Fantastic Sam's, hit me up. Oh no, my girl already said she wouldn't take you. You couldn't afford her. But even if you could, she would, no. She doesn't have to just take anybody as a client. That's the luxury of having a long, highly successful professional career. I did the same thing in my work. I only take clients that you've got to be, let's just say, incredibly easy to work with. I'm like, that really truly is a luxury. If you work for yourself, no matter what it is that you do, if you are lucky enough, and let's face it, it's not just luck, it's a lot of hard work. But if you have the right secret sauce and you've done anything right in your career, whatever that career is, when you work for yourself, the sweet spot is when you don't have to work anymore, but you choose to because you love it. And wait for it, you don't have to take just anybody's business. So there you have it. Hey, Dis, how are you? My God, good to see you. I've been worried about you. I guess I could have emailed you, couldn't I? I actually did think about that the other day. I'm like, I need to email him and see how he's doing. Hey, Fit and Curvy, how are you? I'm Taylor from Stitching, Biatching, and True. I need all recipes on the hogs. Somebody in your channel can take them down. Well, I mean, I don't think I have recipes, but I do have a catalog of, there's, I don't delete anything. Actually, I have deleted one and only one video, and it was only up for about 30 minutes, if that. Let's just say I was particularly off the chain that day, and I kind of stepped out of myself for just a minute. Oh, and as a matter of fact, Gina, I think you know the person that I was telling her about herself, and let's just say I was not being very complimentary. Sounds like Jelly Bean. Yeah, I thought, you know what? Mainly because I really don't know her. I had never, because I couldn't, never listened to, my God, you talk about somebody who's on the fucking struggle bus. Girl, you are piloting the struggle bus. I heard her. Oh, it was when she went off on Diamond Cutter. That's somebody else I love. I don't know how anybody can be shitty to Diamond Cutter. Honestly, she just seems like the sweetest, kindest soul. I don't get it. If you can't get along with Diamond Cutter, well, I will definitely not be for you. Let's just say that. Hey, voices, how you doing? Oh, there's a baby. Oh, congratulations. I hope mother and baby are both doing well. So, Flo, let me tell you. Hey, Bieber, how you doing? That day, when I heard her going off, demanding a link from Diamond Cutter, I was planning on going live anyway. She just kind of hijacked my put it this way, it was a mistake for me to listen to that before I was on the way into my office to already do a scheduled live. And I just kind of told her all about herself. And I wasn't very nice about it. And I thought, when I left my office, I thought, you know what? I took it down because I thought probably not, with only one short video, that small of a frame of reference about her, I kind of felt like it wasn't fair for, I mean, I know there's people who think I'm the Antichrist and, you know, I'm a horrible bitch, but I'm really not. I like to say I only talk about people who suck. I only talk about shitty people. So because I only had that very tiny little reference, I thought, you know what? I'm unlike a lot of these people I talk about, I'm not a fan of looking like an uneducated dick. So I deleted it. I didn't even private it. I just deleted it. And I thought, well, in light of who I'm talking about, it's a throwaway anyway. Like that chick, she's not for me. She's not for my peeps. I feel like you need flashcards and closed captioning to listen to her. No, thank you. I don't, no, I don't, no. I'm not on the struggle bus, sweetie. Hey, Zeno with Fire, how you doing? Hey, Sue, how are you? Okay, well, this channel, I want to pull all the PLB. What are the PLBs? Hey, Heartland, honey, how you doing? So, Flo, I don't like them either. In fact, I think I made a crack like jelly beans. Most definitely not to be confused with jelly bellies. I'm really not a fan of any kind of jelly bean, anything that says jelly in the name. Although there is a line of very luxurious stuffed animals. If you ever need to buy like a baby gift for somebody, Jellycat, they make the most precious stuffed animal. Nordstrom carries them in the children's department. Hey, Glow with Glow, how you doing? Boy, it's taken me a long ass time to read this damn comment, isn't it? Oh, voices, by the way, right before I came in here, I was listening to, I think it was Joneson from yesterday. It was you, Joneson, Nick, B. Tim, and Joneson was reviewing a rant of Laura's, and I got to the part where Laura was reviewing Queen Bee. Oh God, I think it was from yesterday. You'll know what I'm talking about. I was laughing my ass off. I always, when I put my makeup on, I try and listen to something that I can just listen. I know I'm not going to have to like look at the phone and go, oh my God, will you get to the fucking point already? Change the channel. You know what I mean? So that was rather funny. Sometimes it's hard to put eyelashes on when you're laughing. Okay, so here's the comment I'm going to read that I left for nonsense about Molly and all this disgusting insanity. And I have to say, for the record, I've already made my disclaimer that I'm not, you know, I'm not tits deep in this case, but I do know the big picture, we'll say. And I very much agree with something I heard Nonsense say, which is people wanting updates and people thinking that they're entitled to updates about this man's condition. You're not. Sit down and shut the hell up. It's like, I don't know where we have gotten to in this community. It seems like there's so many people who just either have no boundaries at all, no glass, no. I mean, I realize that we're on this public platform, but just because we have a YouTube channel that doesn't mean that we owe you the intimate details of our lives. So it's gross when I hear all these people. I mean, someone picked up the phone and called, or at least presented as they were calling either a funeral home or a medical examiner. I'm sorry, you have lost your shit. Your marbles have rolled down the street. If you think it is appropriate to pick a phone up and call to inquire about the demise of someone you do not know, and you've got, like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. It is so bizarre to me that someone would do that they would even think to do that. I just don't get it. I do not get it. I don't understand. You know, and then you have people on the other side who will say, well, when you come to social media and I don't care how much of your life you share. I try and maintain a very clear and definitive line. YouTube, personal life. There is a reason you have never heard me even utter the name of my husband or my grown child, and you won't, and you will never see them on here. And I actually, before I even knew the depths of Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs this place is, even before I knew that, I decided there was a couple things I promised myself before I went live the first time, because I've told this story before. I watched this community for years before it ever crossed my mind to create a channel. And you know why I did? Because I was watching people, and just for the record, I was not watching most of the people that I watch now, but I was watching people that, in my opinion, were a hell of a lot dumber than I was. And I thought, well, goddamn, if they can do it, shit, I can do it better. So, two things that were like, this is my line in the sand, and my line in the sand doesn't move. I draw it, and that's it. I don't move the goalpost. This isn't college football. There's no like, well, there might be a flag on the play, but we're not moving the ball or the goalpost for a penalty. Hey, Kathy P, how you doing? Yes, Catter Day. Oh, do y'all like my cats? For anybody who didn't get to see my, this is a bad move that I'm about to do. It could result in a broken bone. So if I disappear from view and you hear me screaming, somebody call the ambulance for me. Can you see my little kitties on there? How cute is that? Cosmic kitten. And this one has got like it's almost like the hat that Slash used to wear from Guns N' Roses. I have another one that I'm going to wear next week. That's a unicat. I didn't even know such a thing existed. I mean, I know we have unicorns and unifam. My unicat does not have a unifam, just to be clear on that. Oh, Gina, I have 3 cats and a dog, and the cat I was talking to this morning when I did the video, he's anywhere between 28 and 30 pounds. He's part Maine Coon, and I have his mom and one of his siblings. So I'm a cat lady. But what I was saying about the line in the sand that I said I would like, full stop. I said that I was never going to do anything that would embarrass me or my family online, and I was never going to discuss and or make my family a part of any social media, anything. Hey, Carol, how you doing? Ah! You like my Betty videos? Well, thank you so much. Oh, listen, I'm proud to be the damn the voracious, well-spoken opponent of everything that wretched bitch does. Yes, I'm probably what Betty would love to be, but never can be. Any of it. Not just the good hair. So I do not understand how anybody feels like it is appropriate. Listen, just because you can do something, it doesn't mean you should. And it's just vile. All of this shit is just so vile. Y'all need to take a step back. If you are taking it upon yourself to pick the phone up and inquire about one of the most sacred, personal things that could happen to someone, I mean, I guess it's a good thing that YouTube doesn't enforce HIPAA laws. Although I don't know, maybe they do. They probably should, because I don't know. I just that's all I can say about it, y'all. I do not. I don't understand it. I don't understand that mentality. I would never ever do it. I wouldn't. I mean, to me, there are just things that you just don't do. There are lines you don't cross. I don't care if you donated money to that family, either side. That's irrelevant to me. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know. I guess not everybody is raised with the same type of values and morals. I don't know, but it's just nuts. So here is the comment. I mean, I know it's taken me a while to get here. I apologize. Here's the comment I left about this video about, Molly and jaundice for all. Jaundice, honey, you need to get your ass to Sephora and get a damn shade match, okay? Listen, you are now like the scepter and the crown has been passed to you. You are now the head bitch in charge of, Molly's peeps, I guess. So come on now, we're gonna have to up your makeup game. Come on, there's no excuse. And for one who is so, seemingly cares so much about the aesthetics, and all this, I mean, you got to tighten that game up. If you're going to wear makeup, blend and match, honey. Just saying. If there is any justice or karma in this world, when MGL finds herself at the end of her glory days of YouTube kick and D-list reality star fame, I'm fairly certain this happened a few months ago. Molly just hasn't gotten the memo yet. Molly will find herself in a second-rate ACLF. It will be a second-rate facility because she doesn't have enough of her fortune left after buying all of that Tom Ford to pay for a good supplemental Medicare policy or long-term care insurance. As Molly is sitting in her dirty, hot paren, the AC broke a few years back, close paren, dirty, hot ACLF, she will at least enjoy the company of her roomies, Bullscorn Betty and Jaundice for all. Somewhere out there is a young, up and coming tragedy pimp who finds herself bored and is browsing YouTube when she finds herself going down a very large and wide rabbit hole by the name of MGL. Our burgeoning tragedy pimp comes across MGL and her catalog of greatest hits while going back in the Wayback Machine, and inspiration strikes in the form of a Where Are They Now series. And MGL will be the first episode. Betty and Jaundice, sit down, bitches. Molly is always first. She is the star. Duh! Betty, you're bald now. So if you can get a wig that doesn't look like it came from Party City, production might consider you for an episode. Betty, whatever you do, do not use the extensions from the last time that MGL attempted to make you all famous. Unfortunately, Betty, you don't warrant your own dedicated episode, so you will have to share an episode with Jaundice, only if he takes his orange self to Sephora and gets a shade match. After signing up for a Bin Verified account and receiving her shiny new Bin Verified detective badge, said up-and-coming tragedy pimp will scour the internet, calling every name and number she can find of MGL's past associates and or family. She is willing to do whatever it takes in her search of the ever-elusive MGL, and will even resort to pay less heels on the ground in her desperate attempt to find the former celebrity known as MGL. When she finally hits pay dirt, she is sad to find that MGL is nothing more than a shell of her former self, and is now nothing more than a miserable, ugly, broke-ass bitch. Think Big Edie of Grey Gardens fame, who is now residing in the aforementioned second-rate ACLF. Our up-and-coming tragedy pimp can't let all of her work be for naught. So she will live stream Molly's spectacular downfall from her glory days and will make bank on super chats, Venmos, and Cash Apps, all while exploiting MGL's downfall, all in the name of journalism. Press pass purchase from Bin Verified as well. Clicks, likes, and views. I thought that was some of my better work. And honestly, Brittany, I do that every once in a while. I'll see something that really has me feeling some type of way, and I'll go write a book in somebody's chat. I always say that this is my form of Sudoku. I used to do the New York Times crossword puzzle, but I stopped getting the New York Times in the paper version. And I only ever got it for the book review, and then I would do the crossword puzzle. But the New York Times crossword puzzle, that is no joke. It's pretty tough. Hey, oh no, I said hi to SoFlo, didn't I? Yes, I did. Oh, Mama Bear. Hello, how are you? So yeah, I like to do this to keep keep this sharp. Use it or lose it. Okay. Now, something I wanted to talk about last time briefly, and I forgot, but I have it pulled up, and I thought if anybody else has seen it or wants to talk about it. Has anyone seen this on Netflix? It's a movie. It is not a series, and it's about hour and 45 minutes. It is crazy. And interestingly enough, this is Bullhorn Betty's neck of the woods. Thank God, though, we don't ever have to worry about Bullhorn Betty being in charge of any minor children. Oh, thank you, Jesus, for that. Oh, Mama Bear, honestly, I promise you, I used to do for skincare. It's not what you think, I promise. It's if I told you that sometimes I actually wash my face when I'm in the shower with what I wash my body with, I know some people will be like, oh my God, don't put that on your face. Listen, I used to do Obagi, and I had one of those rollers with the needles to do, I think they just call it needling. And you run this thing over your face, it makes these little tiny invisible holes. And then when you put product on, it sinks into your face better. It doesn't just sit on the surface. But honestly, I don't do any of that anymore. I'm very blessed that I've never had zits or anything, never even as a kid. And I wear tinted moisturizer. I used to use Becca First Light Primer. That was one of my favorites. And I tell you what, I actually have started using, believe it or not, drugstore. It's L'Oreal. I think it's called Glotion. It's amazing. No coverage, just color. I've never worn foundation. Listen, ladies, here is a commonly misconceived thought when it comes to makeup. Hold on one sec. Okay, just wanted to take that off the screen. When we get older and wrinkling starts happening, if you wear a bunch of heavy foundation, all it does is fall in the wrinkles and really accentuates them more than they would be if you weren't wearing that. So, Mama Bear, it's really just genetically blessed. And I Botox everything from here up. So from my I don't have crow's feet really. I never really did, but trying to hold them at bay, if you do it before you've made crow's feet, it helps to start. I've been getting Botox for years. So Botox from here up, and once a year I do filler in my lips. Usually right after Christmas I do it. And I had some filler put back here at the back of my jaw because I don't have wrinkles, but I'm 53 years old. My skin's starting to sag. I mean, that's just what happens as you get older. And in my family, none of the women really wrinkle, but the elasticity goes. I mean, your skin sags. That's what happens. So I already have very prominent cheekbones, and I've been going to the same girl for years, and I don't go to a strip mall med spa. I go to a plastic surgeon's nurse practitioner. But because I already have prominent cheekbones, typically what they do when it starts to sag is when you see these women that look like especially on Fox News, you'll see these women who have cheekbones that literally look like they are exploding. It's because in an effort to, pull what's starting to sag, gravity's taken hold. If you fill here, it, by plumping that out, it gives a bit of a lift there. But because I hate that look. I don't ever want to look like that. So I've had a syringe back here on each side that just does like a little tiny, it just gives you a little bit of a lift without that. So, and really that's it. That's all I do. Tinted, this is just, I fake tan. And trust me, ladies, take my word for this. If you've never self-tanned before, I promise you, this is something my mother-in-law, I know you're out there listening. I'm going to see you later on today, but hey, My mother-in-law's my biggest fan. Believe I'm telling you. Can I tell you how weird it is to be in your own house and hear yourself coming from the other room talking? It like when my mother-in-law comes to visit, sometimes she'll stay the weekend and she'll watch my videos, and because she stays up, she's like a vampire. She stays up all night long and then will fall asleep during the day. So she falls asleep and then has to play it over and over. But where the hell was I going with that? Like you guys know. Oh hell, I don't even know anymore. But oh, it was something with, see, getting old, it's hell. Oh, well, we're just going to pivot since I completely lost my entire train of thought. Hey, Earth, how you doing? Oh, Mama Bear, it's very weird. Oh, yes, Mama Bear, I just looked up and saw it. Self-tan. I promise you, get a tan, you will feel like you lost at least 5 pounds. If I'm wrong, I'll buy you a bottle of your favorite champagne. Mine is Bouvet Clicquot. Do you know how long it took me to learn how to say that? Because I never wanted to be that dick that goes into a restaurant or a bar and orders something that I can't pronounce. So I pulled it up online and I listened to it over and over and over until I had it right, because it's French. The French have given us so many good things. Chanel, fine champagne. So yes, that's it. And self-tan, I can tell you, and trust me, I have used every conceivable kind, from the most expensive, absurd, to drugstore. And I have to say, I have a machine, so my husband does it for me. I have a pop-up tent. We go out on the back porch and my husband's like, well, honey, if I can paint a car, I guess I can paint you, because it's hard to do it yourself. But I can. I've done it myself before. So the product I use is Norvell Venetian. Now, Norvell can be very confusing. They have, like, I can't even tell you how many different types of self-tan just within the line. But the Venetian Double Dark is my favorite. And even if you don't, you hear yourself on screen. I said, huh? Anyway, the liquid that goes in the spray system, that's what I use for that. If you don't want to invest in the machine, Norvell also makes a lotion. They make a mousse. I'm not a fan of any of the mousses. I like the lotion, and it's also Venetian. And the other one that I highly recommend is Saint-Tropez. Oh, and you know what? Interestingly enough, I don't even know if they make it anymore. Saint-Tropez, they used to have a it was called One Night Only, and it was just like a temporary color. I don't think they make that anymore. But I'm going to just now eat my own words when I said I didn't like the mousse. When I used Saint-Tropez way back in the day, I preferred the mousse. And I think it's called Deep Dark or something like that. But honestly, you guys, self-tan to me It really does. I don't think it's supposed to work this way, but I think certain products work better on certain people. I think certain skin types take mousse better than lotion, etc. So, but that's what I use. And if you want a good drugstore, I think they still make it. L'Oreal Sublime Bronze. And that's got a little bit of like a shimmer to it too. So there you have it. But that's really it. Mama Bear, that's pretty much the extent of my skincare. It's funny because at one time I really was like, oh, I got into the whole K-beauty deal. You know, I've done it all. Let's just say I used to be a very big fan of Jeffree Star back in the day. Oh, Jenny, yes, you like Saint Tropez too? Oh, Fit and Curvy, the gym. Oh, you mean like a bed? I don't. That I gave up any real sun or listen. When I was like 19 or 20, my big goal in life was to have my own tanning bed. I don't do that anymore. Yeah, it's not. Back then we didn't realize how terrible the sun was for you. So, all right, I'm sorry, kids. We took a detour. We always do. Back to that Netflix deal. Take Care of Maya. I highly recommend it. It takes place in Betty's neck of the woods, and it deals with the CPS system. So I would love to talk about that. I think I have about 30 minutes left in it. And what was the other one we talked about? It was like 6 episodes. The little girl, well, alleged little girl that had dwarfism. But The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. I really liked that, and that was fun talking about it. But 6 episodes is a little much. This is really manageable because it's under 2 hours. If y'all want to watch it and you want to do like a watch and react, I would love to talk about this because this story is something else. Yeah, tanning beds. Super Goop. Where did I see that the other day? TJ Maxx, maybe? Okay. Oh my God, Jenny, tanning beds. Let me tell you, I remember going to the place, down the street from my house. Interestingly enough, I don't know if this is still the case, but do you know that at one time, Florida was the state with the most tanning beds in the country? Go figure. Jenny, as a former tanning bed aficionado, oh God, remember the shit you would spray on yourself, the accelerator? The smell. How about the smell? Nothing like the smell of cooking flesh, quite literally. And it was like, that's how you knew it was working. And they'd give you, the place I went before bed number 6 is ready for you. Do you want the super cancer bulbs, or do you want the, just the extra? They would give you either a little heart sticker or a Playboy bunny. And you would put the sticker like on your, down on your belly somewhere so that you could really see it was working. But it would, like, once you had sweated so much in this thing, that cooked flesh smell starts happening. Anybody who spent time in a tanning bed knows exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, then you're lucky and you didn't you didn't prematurely age yourself in a tanning bed. Yeah, it was kind of like a microwave for your skin. Oh God, that takes me back, and not in a good way. Okay, so if y'all want to, maybe what I'll do is one day next week. Oh, Kara, you like the Natalia? Do you know what? Missa told me it's a mood because she was there when we talked about the couple times we talked about Natalia. She was there in the chat, and she left me a comment and said Natalia is actually going to tell her story, and I think it's coming out this summer. That I cannot wait to see. So if you liked that, I'm telling you, this one is awesome as well. And and I'm going to have another book recommendation. I am halfway through. Did I already put this up? I don't think I did. Let me just Google really fast. I want to make sure I have the title right. Let's do it this way. Okay. It is called, shit, I wanted to take a screenshot of that. The Covenant of Water. It is Oprah's latest book pick. It's about, I think it's just shy of 600 pages. It takes place in India. It's a fabulous book. I think when I'm done, I will make a community post and I'll do a screenshot of the cover. If you like to read, that's a fantastic book. And I have another book on y'all, I need to get better about making community posts because there are so many things that I would love to share with you guys. And like I said before, I really try, like if I'm going to share something, it's something I like, I really dig it. I don't want to tell you guys, buy this, watch this, read this, do this. I don't just recommend things that I'm like, kind of ambivalent about. No, if I recommend it, it's because I really think that you will like it. So, and I keep saying I'm going to do the damn Lisa's favorite things. Because Lisa has a lot of favorite things. Oh, you want to see one that I just washed? If you live any place that's cold, this is mainly a clothing company, but because Florida, obviously it never gets cold here. And if it does, it's incredibly minimal. This is Barefoot Dreams. So I do have a couple of the clothing pieces, but this, can you see this? I've got it folded up. It's a throw blanket, and it's reversible. Can y'all? I want you to see the pile on this. Well, so far we haven't talked about a damn thing I said we were going to talk about. It's kind of the way it goes sometimes. Okay. So that's the label. It's really hard to see. Can y'all see that? There we go. Okay, so but look at the pile on this blanket. You see how thick it is? And this it's like a Sherpa, like Sherpa fabric. My husband, this is so funny. He teases me. The other morning he said to me, because I sleep with this every single night. I'm a freak. I do my linens, my bed linens, 3 to 4 times a week I wash the sheets. Because I just want like a nice clean. I like a clean bed. And after sleeping in a couple nights, it's not clean. Hey Helen, how you doing? But at night, I like it Arctic cold. So I put the air conditioner down to, wow, on my side where the master bedroom is, because I always go to bed first. And my husband's always on this side in his office until he goes to bed much later than me. But I will put the thermostat on anywhere between 68 and 70. And that way it gets nice and cold. And then I use that blankie every night. So every morning when I get up, because it's freezing by that time in the house, first thing I do when I get up is I take that blanket, I get my iPhone off the charger, I take my AirPods off the charger and the iPad. And then my little dog is waiting to go out. So I take the blanket with me, because after I take the dog out, I make coffee, I sit on the couch and watch YouTube. And all the assholes piss me off. And I decide what I'm going to do that day. And the other morning, my husband said to me, because I had to kind of pull it out from under him, because he doesn't want any of that like touching him at night. It's too hot for a blanket for him. My husband's a big guy. So he goes, the other morning he said, "What the hell? Are you like Linus? You're running around dragging that blanket everywhere." And if you don't know who Linus is, Linus was a character from Charlie Brown, and Linus always was dragging this damn blanket around. So there you have it. So that is one of Lisa's favorite things: Barefoot Dreams blanket. Hey, France Smethurst, how are you? That's a new name. Welcome. Oh, Helen, 63. I need to come spend the night at your house. Now we're talking. I like it when I get up in the morning and it's just condensation, just like dripping off my glass sliders. But so that blanket, that's the throw blanket size, but they do have a full, I think it comes queen and king, if I'm not mistaken, bed blanket. It's the exact same thing, just larger. But I'm the only one who needs that, so it's the perfect size. And if you live any place where it gets cold, Barefoot Dreams, their clothing is made out of that exact same material, and it is heavenly. Oh, okay. Oh, well, thank you, Heartland, honey. I appreciate that. Okay, so we did that. And pardon me while I fix my lipstick. Another of my favorite things, Pat McGrath. Everything. Pat McGrath doesn't make a bad product. Okay. Let's see. I made my little list. Oh boy. I think we're at the unfortunate part of the program now where I'm going to have to start dragging some people. Oh, but what I was saying about Netflix and the Take Care of Maya, I think what I'll do next week is I'll schedule a live a little bit ahead of time. Like I'll do a thumbnail with maybe 2 or 3 days notice. And then whoever shows up and we'll discuss. But it is well worth the watch. Okay, so we did that. And before I get to the horrifying screenshot I'm going to show, you guys, yesterday I was out and about and I had my AirPods in. I ran across this channel the other night, and this is not so much, I'm not going to tell you this because I'm trying to plug the channel, because I'm not sure yet how I feel about it. I mean, she seems like a a very nice person. I'm not saying, when I say how I feel about it, I don't really mean the creator. I'm talking more about I will never get used to this, you guys. The left being the right being the left. I mean, I can fucking barely walk and chew gum as it is. It's having to now do the opposite. Listen, I have a nervous breakdown just thinking about being in Europe or somewhere else where you have to drive on the other side of the road. And then if you really want to throw yourself into a tailspin, put yourself in a stick shift while you're doing it. And no, I don't just sit around coming up with those scenarios. That's actually a family member of mine that had that issue not too long ago. I'm like, oh my God, first of all, driving on the other side of the road, that would cause me to have an accident. I do know how to drive a stick shift, which is like riding a bike. You will never forget, I promise you. So if you learned how to drive a stick many years ago and you haven't driven one in a while, I promise you it is absolutely like riding a bike, and you will remember the minute you put your foot on the clutch. But yeah, my family member was in Europe driving on the other side of the road, and it was a manual, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know how you did that. And it gives me anxiety just thinking about it. Oh yeah, Jenny, no. I would love to come to Scotland. Did I tell I don't think it was you. I think it was somebody else, but I have very dear family friends of decades that live in Aberdeen. But what I was getting at is, as I was running around doing errands, I had AirPods in, and I stumbled across this channel a few weeks ago, and it's not about the channel. It's about what I was listening to. And I thought to myself, I can't be the only one who is still just, I'm trying to think of oh, you did, Jenny? Oh, I know where I could tell you the name of their road, but I don't want to dox them, but I remember it. I know the name of the street. I think, all right, but I still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to say the name of the channel, but here's what it was. The Watts case. And this is a woman who is still making content about the Watts case. And listen, I'm not hating on her, because clearly I watched it. I have, and that is the first I have watched anything about the Watts case in quite a while. I mean, well, since not too long after, I'll tell you, the last time I heard anything is when that crazy bitch was trying to get him, what's that hearing called? It's got a number. You know, the one who's all about truth and transparency. Yeah, her. And it wasn't her I was listening to, but that is that, when all that was going on, that's the last that I was listening to anything about that case. So I don't know why this came up in my queue. Well, it must have heard me talking about something and it pulled it up. And if y'all don't think that Google is listening and YouTube is listening, just mention something that you don't typically talk about and wait and see how long it takes for it to show up in your feed. Hey Tia, how you doing? So, am I the only one? Listen, I must admit, it came up in my feed about 2-3 weeks ago. Oh, and she was actually interviewing a woman who wrote a book about this case. And no, not the one who was like a friggin', don't even get me going on that. The one who plagiarized portions of the book and the other portions were barely fucking literate. How do you write a book? I'd be like Betty writing a book. My God. That was absurd. I have never seen something so juvenile and, well, nothing since Betty's complaint. That woman's book is on par with Bullscorn Betty's writing skills, or lack thereof. Oh, Helen, it absolutely, without a doubt, it's listening, and it will accommodate what it thinks you want to see and or hear. Yeah, it's weird. I don't like that. And listen, y'all, I have an incredibly boring life, and I like it that way. Like my husband says, you have to work really hard to have a boring life. And you do. Like, we do not have drama. If we do, it's not from us. It's, it's something that is someone else's making. But I wouldn't call that drama. I'd call it life. Life happens. But why ever this showed up in my feed, I listened. And it was very interesting. The author that she was speaking with, and it was not the illiterate sounding one. So I listened to that. And then I went to the channel, and I see that she is also, and her channel name has Watts in it. So she's very much, I believe she's working on a degree, a graduate degree, if I'm not mistaken. But when I went to her channel, she's got the Idaho 4. So she's not solely dedicated to Watts, but I do believe that Watts is the bulk of the content. And I have to admit, I found myself listening to more and then listening to more. And it's all accompanied by, the videos from Facebook, or where, I think that's where the bulk of where Shanann was live streaming. And I'm just not sure how I feel about it. Because on one hand, I'm like, my God, are you serious? You're still doing this? You are still making videos about this? He's in jail. He's never coming out of jail. Let that family be in peace. The ruse checks. I don't give a shit about the Watts family. Please don't take that as me meaning go harass them. No, I don't wish to see that for anybody, but I'm not concerned with them. When I say let that family be in peace, I'm not talking about them, because I don't give a shit about them. I don't wish anything bad on them, but that's not where my sympathy lies. Oh, Mama Bear, when I said, yeah, the illiterate sounding one, yeah, that was her. Her. So on one hand, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, lady, are you serious? You're still making content about this when there's nothing new. Let that family be. But on the other hand, I'm contributing to it. Hey, Remy, how you doing? So it's like, people only make content that other people want to see, but that's not true either. There's lots of people that they talk about what they want to talk about, period, end of story. I'm kind of like that. True. And I mean that. I can't like be passionate about something that you're not going to see me talking about something or someone more than likely that I don't really feel some type of way about just because everybody else is talking about it. I mean, perfect example is what I talked about in the beginning of this with the Marvon. I know the, the minimum that most people know. It's just not, I guess maybe because I found out about it so late in the story, but it's just not something that I'm terribly interested in, which is why I've not talked about it. So that's what I mean when I say you're not going to see me coming on here and talking about something just because other people are talking about it and they're, everybody's trying to get likes, clicks, views, money. I mean, because this is not a job for me. This is a hobby, nothing more. So I mean, so I started thinking to myself, well, why are we still watching and or listening and or creating content about this story so many years now? The case is, it's as far as the legal system, it's done. Oh, Remy, Muggy, listen, Florida's like a terrarium. My air is down so low and it's so hot and humid outside that there's eventually condensation is going to be running down the windows because of the damn the humidity. It's just so awful. That's what Florida is. So it's what makes us so miserable here. I can take heat. Listen, I've been to Las Vegas in August and walked all over for hours and wasn't the least bit bothered. But it's dry. The humidity here is what I hate humidity, as does most women's hair. Maybe that's why Betty's hair looks like cotton candy. Well, besides the fact that it's dead, but what's still there, that's why it looks like cotton candy. So yeah, it's, the watch thing, it's done. For all intents and purposes, it's done, at least as far as the legal system is concerned. But I mean, I know what it is for me, at least in part. And listen, in full disclosure, I'm not a conspiracy person. I'm not somebody who's going to tell you that I think Nicole Kessinger was involved. I don't think he had any help, etc. Does that mean I'm right? No, that's just my thoughts. Oh, Mama Bear, absolutely. I am the same. I will take 110 in Vegas over 80 in Florida with the humidity. Oh, so yeah, I started thinking to myself, what is it about this case? And for me, I have the part of this horrific story that I just cannot reconcile in my mind are the tanks. I've never believed it. I mean, I know they were in there. I'm not necessarily on board with the explanation as to how they got in there. I mean, I don't want to be graphic, and I not that the family's ever going to see this or hear about this, but I do try and keep that in mind. I don't want to I don't want to be callous or disrespectful in any way. So I'm not going to come out and Remy, yeah. I actually oh, this is I think I've shown you all this container before. Laura made me think of it. See this? These are these candles are called Fornicetti. Amazing. Amazing. And these people usually collect them, as you can see why. And this is one of the boring containers. I thought I had a damn fabric tape measure, which I do have one. You know what I think I'm going to do? No, never mind. I thought I had more coffee in my cup. I was going to go run at a full sprint out to the kitchen, nuke it, and grab a paper plate. A small, you know, not full size, but the ones like you would serve, like if you just had little hors d'oeuvres out. You know, they're about that size. Oh, actually, hold on a minute. I do have a fabric tape measure over here. I thought maybe. Yep. I was going to say I used this the other day, and I know I have one. Let me just take this container that I was just holding up. Okay, that jar that I just held up, or that container, is 4 3/4 inches in diameter. That thief hatch was 7 inches, I believe. Is that it, Remy? Was it 8 inches? Well, I can show you on this. That right there. That is 8 inches. That length right there. You did, Remy? That is the part that always, that, and there's one other thing. Because clearly that's where they were found. So obviously they were in there. Now I had my own ideas as to how that might have been effectuated. That I'm not gonna expand on because I'm just not. Here's the other thing. The only other thing that has always had me, I've always been very intrigued by it and always wanted to know why. Why was he so adamant and so quick to make a deal on the condition that the medical information of, I think it was just the girls. I don't think Shanann was included. I'm not positive on that part, but I know it was absolutely about the girls. That there was never to be any medical information released about the girls. Why? I mean, obviously, all we can do is speculate on it, but my guess would be that, yeah, Remy, that was my thought on how that would have, one of the ways that would have happened. But I mean, let's think about this. You're talking about a man that has done the most evil, foul, heinous, evil, period, end of story, act, who gladly copped to it, put up no defense, pled guilty in record time. All in exchange for the promise by the DA that none of the medical records or medical information regarding the girls would ever be made public. Why? I mean, obviously, there is some reason that he wanted it that way. That was his one. I mean, let's think about this. Do you know how much money he saved the state of Colorado by pleading guilty that quickly and putting up no defense? And that was his only condition. And yes, Mama Bear, that's my guess. What else would it be? What else would have, I mean, to me, it just makes sense. And for anybody at home that, I'm not going to read the comment out loud because, like I said, I'm trying to be very, I don't even altogether feel right talking about this, but I really do want to know what is it about this that we cannot let go of. And when I say we can't let go of, listen, that runs the gamut from here to here and everything in between. I'm very much at the least invasive end of that statement. So, yeah, Remy, it could have been. That is the one thing that, and think about it, I don't know what else would, let's just say what artifacts could still be possibly not intact. That and my feeling is that is what it was about, and it had, and not so much, I don't think it had anything to do with him feeling shame or not wanting to bring more, hatred directed at his family. I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it had to do with him not wanting to be Dahmered in prison. Bad enough what he did. But to add that little detail, do we not think that would have made what is already, hopefully, a horrible, miserable existence even more dangerous? Jenny, I mean, I think if you think about it in terms of the big picture, if I'm the prosecutor and I've got everything he's already copped to, and I'm that prosecutor and I can get this case done, with minimal financial resources and, manpower resources being expended. And if he said, here's my one, I don't want to make it sound like it was kind of, well, who cares at this point? But kind of in the big scope of what happened, he's never going to leave anyway. He's never leaving prison. He's never going to see the outside world again. So do we really need that? Are we going to turn this? Are we going to say no to this one condition to just then be able to add that to the list of charges? Is kind of what I'm getting at. I don't know. But Jenny, I think yes, there were parts of the autopsy reports that were released. I remember hearing, a few details. I don't know whether they've been released in full, but does anybody remember the exact wording of how the prosecutor put that as far as the the stipulation that it was something to the effect of no medical records or medical information would ever be released, something to that effect. Yeah, Remy, there was very little information, and the bulk of it was on Shanann. So yeah, this one, and I know I'm not alone. This is one that, oh, Jenny, I tell you what, be glad you didn't follow it, because if you want to see the worst of social media on display, everybody in the chat can point you in the direction of some of the biggest offenders on here with that case. They're I don't know. Listen, I know everybody has an interest in these cases, but let's just say that not everybody has the same metric as far as what they will and will not do and say to add to. I don't know. For me, it's like I can't sit up here and talk about people that I call tragedy pimps while then behaving like a tragedy pimp. And the whole internet was talking about it. I understand that. And I'm not saying people shouldn't talk about it, but I think so many people you just lose all perspective that it's like, these are real people. These are not just stories on the internet. And there was just some foul, horrible shit that went on in that case. Yeah, basically what's happening to Summer Wells. But, in Summer's case, unfortunately, Don and Candace became the story. I maintain that this story, for good or for bad, would not have had the presence that it has were it not for Don and Candace behaving as they did. Oh my God, what did she do a parody of, Jenny? Oh, listen, I'm stating for the record right now. If you think it is funny to do a parody of a woman who's been murdered, you're fucking sick and you need help, and you should probably leave the internet, because it's never funny. It's just not. It's never funny. Oh, of course she did. Listen, that bitch ought to be, she should hang her head in shame for any number of reasons. That's just another one to add to the list. Oh, Helen, there was another one who did too. I'm not going to even say that bitch's name. Just sick. And see, these are the kinds of things that frustrate me and piss me off. How do you do something vile like that? You make fun of a woman who's been murdered. I don't give a shit what you thought of her. Whether you thought she was the worst mother on earth, I assure you she was not. But what if you thought she was? So what? Whether she was the worst mother on earth or the greatest mother on earth or something in between, which that would be my choice. It is never funny and or appropriate to parody someone who's suffered the fate that she did, and her children and their family that are being exposed to all this heinous shit. If that's who you are and that's what you're doing, like I said, you're fucking sick and you might want to find a shrink. And shame on all you morons who follow that. And you subscribe to that and you support that, because guess what? Without the people supporting it, chances are they're not going to do it, because they're all about this and this. And when I do this, I mean, look at me, look at me. I am convinced, this is my at least partial theory on people like this, like Molly, like that other nasty bitch, like all of them, like everybody in that ilk. Many of them, if not most, are not successful in real life. They're train wrecks, and they will take attention and affirmation any way they can get it. They have no scruples. There is no bridge that is too far. They'll do anything. And it's the most attention they've ever had in their lives. And they crave it like they crave oxygen. I'm telling you right now, there's nothing in this world, well, short of, someone telling me I either do it or one of my family members is going to suffer a horrible fate if I didn't. There is nothing in this world that would ever allow me to make fun of a murder victim. And this isn't like something that happened, 30 years ago. Even if it did, so what? Yeah, celebrities. No, only in their own minds. And it really does. Hi, Heather. Oh my God, Heather, that's so awful. See, and that's the thing. And this is not just a YouTube problem. Society is like, folks, we are on a downhill slide for lots of reasons, in my opinion. But it does not help matters when people reward this horrible behavior. And trust me when I tell you that I got the memo. If I was willing to do what it takes, I could blow this channel up. And I don't mean blow it up like goodbye. I've done that too. No, I mean, follow in the footsteps of Molly Golightly, and I'm smarter and I'm better looking and I'm thinner. I promise you I could do it. We get it. We've all seen the recipe. It's not that complicated. It's not that deep. You got to be willing to make an abject asshole out of yourself for the entertainment of people dumber than you, and for some that are not, but they're only going to stick around in the short term. They just want to see the initial train wreck. Then they're just going to drag you. You've got to like check your moral compass at the door, because you're going to have to always top the other guy. So you're going to have to say and do more heinous shit than the last one was willing to do. I mean, I'm just not, no. Because I get my validation from my family and my real life friends. Not from a bunch of strangers on the internet that I think are like my adoring fans. None of these people give a shit about any of these people. So I do understand that, everybody likes a train wreck. I get it. I mean, hell, I talk about these people, but I'm not going to be these people. I don't talk about them in a good way, as most people don't. I mean, I actually heard a guy the other day. I think I was on Jones's channel listening, and talking about Betty's clown suit. I'm sorry, her defamation suit. Bitch, you ought to be embarrassed. And the time it took you to write that abomination, girl, go back to, remember that song Beauty School Dropout in Greece? Frankie Valli sang it to Pinky or Frenchie. Is her name Frenchie or Pinky? I can't remember. Well, this is probably a good place as any to talk about her since I opened the door. Hold on, let me see. Well, shit. I'm trying. I have 3 more things written down, and I'm trying to decide if I want to go right into her or. Well, let's do this really quick. This next person, I've never watched. I've heard her name many times. She's just not for me. I think she does a lot of like late night streaming. So when I saw Heels in the Air's video this morning, I was like, wow. So I've got it queued up. We're not going to watch the video. I'm just going to, I want to pull up a still. And all right, where is it? Well, hell's bells. All right, hold on a minute. Oh, there it is. This was the, oh my God. Well, what I was going to, okay, Frenchie, it was Frenchie. Oh, hi, Candy Kitten. How are you? That's a new name. Welcome. When I saw this video this morning, I thought, some things I just don't like, I don't get, okay? Like all these people, for the most part, I don't get. Some of them can be entertaining, okay? Some of them not, like Betty, nobody's going to accuse Betty of being entertaining. Betty is a wretched, miserable, hateful, horrible bitch. That nobody is ever going to say, well, yeah, I know all that, but God, she can be really funny. No, Betty, I question, well, I know she has that like psychotic cackle, that nervous cackle, but other than that, like, I question if she's ever like laughed at anything, like really for real. Oh, you're usually in the bushes. Okay. That's okay. Oh, yes, Remy, that is who we're going to talk about. Yeah. So in the case of this one, Ziggy, you know, she has long been talked about as, well, at least in the Summer Wells case, like OG tragedy pimp. I've never watched her because why would I? I think, doesn't she like sell a lot of shit on her channel, like used makeup, I've heard. I've seen clips of her office, I think she called it. Man, there's a lot of you bitches on here. Y'all need to get cleaning, okay? Y'all do not have time to be making all these videos on YouTube. You need to be cleaning your houses, or I don't know, call somebody and let them do it for you. I don't know what the hell ever happened to Pride. Is that a thing in the past these days? I'm thinking it must be, because and Jenny, like, can anybody explain it to me? It's one thing to be a train wreck, but you've got something else going for you that kind of like draws people to you. There has to be a draw. Some of these people, I truly fail to see any draw at all. So it's very disturbing and troubling when you see that they have all these followers. And I'm sorry, when I say all these followers, if it's more than these 10 fingers, to me, it's too many. I don't get it. I mean, it truly, it's one of these, like, what? Oh, hold on. I want to read this comment. Ziggy's boyfriend broke up with her allegedly because she took home a piece of furniture. Ew, and brought bed bugs into his home. They took forever to get rid of. Oh my God. Oh, well, let me tell you something. Just based on the clip of what she was calling her office, it looked like a damn storage unit. There was shit everywhere. I know everybody's got their version of clean. I guess my standard is impossibly high. Maybe I don't think it is, but I mean, and please don't take that as me saying my house is always neat as a pin. It's not. It's always clean. But it just puzzles me, like, why show people? Let's just pull this up, shall we? Okay, let's see. And the main thing that I was wanting to talk about is, okay, I'm going to put it on mute because it's not about, we're not watching this for, oh, I hope the text does. Okay, wait, shit. I don't want the text to stay over her face. Does it? Okay, let's see. Oh my God in heaven. Girl, you're a mess. Okay. What in the actual hell? First of all, what
Is she going bald? What is this? What is this here? Because she has either taken a can of spray on hair and sprayed this, or that is one of the worst DIY box hair color disasters ever. What, like, does she usually look like that? Is this a good day? And girl, my God, are you really in a damn recliner? Say it ain't so. Is this like a, oh God. Girl, those curtains are tragic. Of course, I am going to give you semi-high marks for having curtains. That puts you way ahead of the game over some of these people. So I'm not, despite the fact that I think they look like they belong in a Motel 8, or a 6, maybe a 7.5. I'm not going to drag you too badly for the curtains. But a recliner, is she seriously in a recliner? She cries a lot, Heather. I would be crying as well. My God. The eyebrows? What the fuck? What is this? Did she spray those did she borrow JLR's eyebrow stencil with his Krylon? I mean, those are JLR worthy. And why is there no arch? Why are they just like two long horizontal lines? Like, oh God. And then there's some crazy looking, oh my God. Now that I think about it, you know what? Somebody sent me a screenshot of her one time. Somebody sent me a screenshot of her once. And I'm not going to tell you what it said because, it was not nice. But she appeared to be wearing do you remember The Sopranos? Remember like when Paulie would be cooking in his kitchen at home and he'd just have on like his wife beater, and it was kind of dingy looking and probably had like, spaghetti spots on it. Yeah, and it did not look like she was wearing proper undergarments, we'll just say. And it was just a screenshot from one of her lives. And I was like, because, believe it or not, some people think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to, the fashion part of crimes and fashion. Yeah, Remy. And listen, I'm not trying to be mean to the woman either. I don't even know her. I'm really not. I'm clowning her. But come on, some people deserve to be clowned. When I saw this hair situation, whatever this is that like, I swear to you, it looks like spray on hair. So naturally I thought, well, my God, do they make it in blonde? Betty needs it. I'll send some to Betty. But yeah, girl, that hair, and listen to my pale ladies out there, there's something very like, jarring about seeing someone who is so ghostly white with like shoe polish colored eyebrows. I guess those are eyebrows. Girl, the idea with your eyebrows is to draw the eye up. Like we're trying to, as Miss Diana Vreeland, style icon, her famous saying was, the eye must travel. Well, she wasn't talking about your eyebrows necessarily, but I am. And the eye needs to travel up, up, up. Oh, well, maybe not up, because when we go up, we've got this situation. Like, I don't understand what this is. I think I know what it is. I think she's got very thin hair right here. This is all like thinning or gone. But that is not the way to fix it. Okay. My professional recommendation, while I'm not a cosmetologist, I'm not a makeup professional, although I don't do bad for, palette. But I do have eyebrows that I also I enhance, but I use Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder, not a Sharpie or a can of Krylon, whatever this is we've got going on here. We need an arch in those brows. And typically we like to see the arch somewhere in the middle or thereabouts, but too dark, like the hair is too dark. She would look much better with, just a light brown hair. This is just jarring as hell. And then, then she gets out these fucking what look like coat hangers that she's probably undone to, like, when she locks her keys in the car, she goes old school with a wire hanger to get them undone because she probably doesn't have a damn AAA membership. I don't know. I don't understand this at all. I really don't. And oh, wait a minute. Maybe someone in the chat can let me know. Am I correct when I say that this channel is what spawned YouTube's most demonic, illiterate viper, also known as Prayer Garden of America? Am I correct that Prayer Garden came from this channel? I believe someone told me that back in the day. Oh, listen, Helen, brows. Here's my eyebrow advice. Ladies, I wish I could remember where I heard this. And it doesn't apply to me anymore because I no longer pluck my eyebrows. Years and years ago, I never really plucked. I always had them waxed, and I would wax. She would do under here just to make a higher arch, but never anything like, okay, wait, I'm taking this down because I've seen enough. We've seen enough of this. I heard on a podcast one day, and I wish I could remember who it was. She said, ladies, here's my best advice where tweezing or plucking your eyebrows is concerned. After don't, the next advice was, do not ever sit any closer to your face when plucking than you are when you're driving from your rearview mirror or the visor mirror. Don't ever sit any closer than that when you pluck. But if, no matter what state your brows are in, listen, to me, that look that she was just sporting, that's a young girl's game, okay? And I don't even care for it on young girls. But young girls can pull off this very exaggerated, fake, spray-painted eyebrow look. I don't care for it, but a young girl can rock it. Or, sometimes I think girls who naturally have dark hair and olive-colored skin, or, just a darker skin tone, can pull that off better as well. But there comes an age, which I guarantee you our girl there is well past it. Hey, Beer Can. When you got to stop doing that, okay? You see these eyebrows? They, now, in full disclosure, I do have a decent, I was never a plucker. I never waxed myself, but I did used to get them waxed just down here to make a high, to make a bigger arch. I gave that up years ago, and I would recommend to all of you giving that up as well. Ladies, just suffer through it. It'll take a little while, but suffer through it. Let it grow out. and then either do soap your brows, or like I said, I've already got, I have like a little spot here that's kind of sparse. For me, I think powder always looks better than a dark, heavy pencil. What she was wearing looked like a Sharpie. No, 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 no. Very bad. And where does she get all this makeup? I mean, am I correct in that there was some kind of scandal about her selling expired makeup or something from her YouTube channel? I believe I heard that back in the day. I mean, how are you going to walk around selling makeup when you look like you put yours on with a crayon? I mean, I don't get it. Listen, I don't know the woman, but I know a lot of the fuckery she's gotten up to with the Summer Wells case. And I've always heard how much of this she's made, just like the rest of them, you know, exploiting the shit out of that child. When she got out the coat hangers, are you serious right now? What, like, divining rods, really? Unless you're looking for water, you might want to retire your divining rods. I mean, my God, these people are shameless, truly. It's like there's nothing they won't do. Nothing. Oh, that's right. She was the one with the bones. And girl, not for nothing, these people that you are willingly talking to, listen up, all you Summer Wells fucking recliner detectives. Most of y'all don't seem like you can find your ass with both hands on a map, number one. Number two, you are not going to find Summer Wells. Maybe if she's underneath your fucking couch, you might find her. But other than that, you are no Mensas. You're not rocket scientists. No, I would venture to say most of you don't work at all. And if you do, you're the one getting my order wrong at, you know, the fast food place that you work at, which would not be Chick-fil-A because they've got that shit down to a science. My God, my husband and I were talking about that the other day as we were in the line that was wrapped around the building. Y'all, when I say that Chick-fil-A is the one and only place I will stop when there's a line, whatever it is I want, whether I need a coffee or I'm grabbing, you know, something for dinner. Chick-fil-A, we had a big discussion about this, my husband and I, as we were sitting in the line. I'm not kidding you, wrapped around the building, just a skosh over 5 minutes, if that. And when they were double lines, when they came up with the iPad, what can I get you? You told them one time, and it was, every bit of it was spot on. And there wasn't any, hold on a minute. Can you repeat, what did you want on the, and then you fucking get it wrong anyway? Yeah, no, none of that. And we came to the conclusion that it's two things. It's process. The process that's in place is flawless. And most importantly, they do not hire moronic flunkies who, you know, because it doesn't matter how good your process is if you got a bunch of damn idiots trying to implement the process. So that's my Chick-fil-A rant. But to think that these idiots that sit around grifting off the back of this baby want you to think that it's like, why don't you dirtbags just come out and cop to it? I'd have a hell of a lot more respect for somebody who just said, listen, I'm lazy. I don't want to work. I'm not that smart. And hey, I see all these other dumbasses making bank on YouTube off the back of the missing, the dead, everything in between. So why not me? And that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing this under the guise of finding anybody. Or listen, even I know that there's no way I can make people believe that there's one thing. Hell, I can't help myself. How am I going to help somebody else? You know, I'd have a lot more respect for that. I could dance with that. I mean, it's just, it exasperates me. It really does. It's like, just like Betty. I mean, the only thing Betty has an advantage, the advantage, because she's been arrested a whole lot. So there's that. But I'm looking at this dirtbag that Ziggy Eyebrows is talking to on the phone, and I'm like, holy shit, you are willingly talking to that? That's why I have an ADT security system and other means of self-protection. I mean, it just, I don't even know what to say. That, and let's not forget the part where, let's just suppose one of these dipshits actually, their investigation bears fruit, let's just say, and they find out where they think Summer Wells is. Well, I don't know why. If you truly cared about finding this child, however that may be, and better yet, getting justice for her, however that may be, in whatever that looks like, whether that would be for, you know, someone who took her, whether it's for, God forbid, the worst case scenario. I mean, you know, there's a reason that law enforcement, you know, the people who get paid, what is so ironic to me is so many of these people, I promise you, they don't work. They live off of SSI disability, or every kind of disability there is. I'm sure they're on every kind of, you know, little EBT cards, the whole nine. I'm sure they're on listen, people like this, and I'm not speaking to her. I'm talking about the worst of the tragedy pimp offenders. I'm talking like we're going to the bottom of the barrel now, okay? Think Prayer Garden and her ilk, okay? You got Jaundice. Jaundice is like BFF's regular panel guest with Prayer Garden of America. Wow, Molly, if I were you, that would have me feeling some type of way that my former BFF boy toy, oh, sorry, he's not a boy toy, never mind. BFF is now that he doesn't have your famous self here on YouTube, he's picked the next best thing and gone to Prayer Garden. Oh boy, wow. Yeah. Ooh, that thirst is real, isn't it? My God, can you imagine? Like, I was getting ready to say something really mean, but I'm not going to. I'll keep that here. It's very ironic that people who I know damn good and well don't work a real job, but boy, oh my God, they want to be cops. They want to be investigators. Like I said, couldn't find their ass with both hands in a map, but they're gonna investigate. They're on the case. the part nobody like where the thought doesn't finish is, okay, so what if you actually got some information? And that would just be in spite of yourself, not because of yourself. But, I guess if you talk to enough fucking felons and convicts, go to their house for, what do? Sit on the porch and have a fucking old Milwaukee or a PBR? But let's just say that your investigation, well, it bears fruit and you get some information. Do you think any of these dipshits have ever thought that, well, perhaps all of this investigating that they've done, if and when there's ever a trial, I mean, I don't think you have to be a lawyer, not even a Betty, not even a lawyer, a jailhouse lawyer like Betty. You don't even have to be one of those to realize that a semi-smart defense attorney is going to see all this YouTube shit, all of the absolute clowns. This is a clown show. And if it's even remotely admissible that all these ass clowns from the internet have interfered, I mean, there's, what about like chain of custody, things like that? I promise it's going to happen. I don't know when, and I feel very sorry for whoever's case it is, but it's just a matter of time. The longer this goes on, that you have these idiot, non-working, but wannabe cops, investigators, they want to do everything except work a real job that they're qualified to do, probably because they're not qualified to do much. But they want you to think that they know more and they know better than law enforcement. I mean, law enforcement who has every tool at their disposal, they're coming up empty. But we think that these people hold the key? I sure hope not, because that's terrifying. The joke is, if I go missing, please just leave me there. If my choice is just forget about me and let me be, or call the YouTubers in, just leave me. Yeah, please don't call the YouTubers for me. No. Well, I jumped into Queen Bee's chat yesterday, just real briefly. And she was playing a Mrs. Portland video. Are y'all in the chat? Are you familiar with Miss Portland by any chance? Oh, she's a treat. Oh my God, Helen Highwater. You don't know who Prayer Garden is? Don't make me pull that Viper up, because I will. Oh, I forgot to read I only played, well, Heels won't care. And I just played it for a minute and we didn't use the sound. A Touch of Happiness. Hi, how are you? Oh, Beer Can. You don't know who Miss Portland is? Helen? Okay, well, I'm sorry. You made me do it. Let me just read this disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, well, let's just randomly, we'll go to PG's channel and we will, because my goodness, everybody needs a 20 seconds of Prayer Garden of America in their life. I'll try and find a good one for you. Okay, let's see. Prayer Garden has 7,500 some odd subs. She is one of the most illiterate idiots on this platform, in this space anyway. Frankly, I just bear in mind the one with the eyebrows, she came from her channel. And apparently she really, let's just say she came into her own when Summer's case really, was fairly new. Oh, this looks like a regular Mensa panel right here. Okay, hold on 1 minute. We'll pull this up. Let me get to the, oh, and Jaundice is on this one. Look at that. Shit. Let's see. Oh, I want to go down a little further. Oh yes, this is a Mensa panel of dumb and ugly. Okay, we'll just see what old PG's talking about here. Hold on a minute. Present, share screen. Oh, you're going to hate me for doing this to you. You asked for it. Well, you really didn't ask for it. I'm giving it to you. We won't be able to stand it long, so pay attention.
And the homeless.
Oh, boy.
Whatever they are. You know what I'm saying?
Goodness.
I don't even know what they are. I can't say
what
it.
What do we got going on here?
Yeah, California makes a lot of money.
Okay, wait. So, there's a couple things you need to know about
every other state does
this illiterate viper before we start. Just about every single video on her shitty channel is dedicated to grifting. She will say, this is Summer Whale's channel, which I've already told her. Well, Summer wants her cut. So stroke a check, bitch. And another thing about PG, I'll just let her tell you. You just have to experience it. You have to just immerse yourself, as difficult as that's going to be. Oh, and look, Jaundice is on the panel. Oh, yes, because this is what most people do when they're speaking of a missing child. They have a parody panel where they're parodying someone named Daisy. She's related to the farm lady. Yeah, two more Summer Wells grifters. But at least they speak English. The King's English. PG, not so much. Yeah, but PG thinks that she's better than them for whatever reason. Well, maybe because of the little matter of the English, but they're all grifters.
So I think it should be directed the right ways and not have their own cities for homeless people.
We've got Pamela,
which we control into a fact that we control with the money.
Oh no,
there's enough money to be that.
I don't know.
In fact,
she's not a regular.
Opportunity, and we could do it. But
typically,
I love you guys. I just want to throw that out there.
She has the same people every night. All
people throw races out there. I'm the one that wants to do.
Jaundice. I can't, girl.
I'm from Oakland.
Oh,
so
girl,
it's easy for me to point it, but at the same time, you got to look.
I'm okay
why is the guy
wearing makeup? But if you're gonna wear it, god dang, girl, come on. That is not one of your better looks.
In Oakland, his name is I'm gonna give you a hint. This is an opportunity to think about things.
Uh-huh.
Officer Ching makes 1.3 million a year in homeless encampments.
Crayons.
Why does that mean homeless if you make 1.3 million dollars a year? Think about that.
Oh,
I mean, that's something to think about in every city.
calculator.
So
doesn't go
I
so
can't
high.
get into numbers. I haven't done that much math,
Neither does she. Don't
but
worry.
we all got to think about that. Why is their government official making 1.3
Oh,
million? when
Jesus.
there's homeless
If we took
lady
all 4 of these people on this panel and averaged their combined IQs, it's still going to come up short
understand
of one.
The homeless, them people that stand out on the
And people that stand out on the road. Oh, God. Bitch, you better be real careful, Pamela. Tread lightly. Them people.
at like Walmart's and stuff, they make more than we make a person that works in a week, in a day.
Where you work, girl?
I don't believe that.
Here's PG. Listen. We got this moron doing something with his eyebrow. What's that? She's talking about how them people. Oh God. You lose me the minute.
I've seen some of them bring like $400 home in one day.
Well, how would you know?
Just standing there getting everybody's money.
How do you know?
I think the average homeless person in
Listen,
Chicago makes
my
$50,000.
God, that lipstick. What the? Listen, I know you used to work in a funeral home. Are you wearing mortician's makeup? Because that lipstick is like, that's a problem. That lipstick is an abomination. I cannot believe, like, Justin. I mean, I will give you somewhat high marks for your foundation this evening, is much better than it usually is. But I mean, the lipstick, it's like, oh God, get it, like, meet the sun, please.
I can't hear you, UFC Frog. You
We need
UFC Frog. You muted yourself.
She never has her teeth.
$51 an hour in San Francisco. I make $28 an hour in Vegas. I clear more taxes in Vegas than I did in Frisco.
Oh, honey, do you want to talk about taxes? Oh, I'll tell you, I could make you cry if you want to talk about that. I need to find a PG when she's like really going off. Hold on. See, she hates this lady, this Jenkins woman, and Daisy, the other, it's the old biddy gang is what I call them. Hold on, that's what we'll go right to her channel, because I know there was one I listened to the other day when we talked about her where she was going off, and it was brutal. You will get everything that encompasses that disgusting bitch. Oh, here we go. This is the one. You're gonna love this. Okay.
True.
PG, let me tell you something.
I'll hunt you down. Get your child back. Maybe she's with the foster parent that she had.
Is it just me?
I don't believe that Summer was ever in a shelter.
Bitch, you don't know a damn thing about anything. This is what I love. I'm serious. You will not find a more illiterate sounding person on this platform than PG. But she wants to sit up here night after night and say, I don't believe Summer was PG. You're qualified to talk about like whatever goes on at the bingo hall you play at, or the American Legion or the VFW where you go for, the free buffet, probably. What they're slinging in the parking lot of the Dollar General. That's the kind of shit you're qualified to talk about. You have no idea what you're talking about with pretty much anything. So you really should leave like the missing children cases to the professionals. Hey, Stephanie S. Oh, I have my own spray tan machine.
And if you go back like maybe 45 minutes or an hour, I was talking about what I use. Or leave me remind me in the comments and I'll put it there for you. Oh, self-low, does she have her teeth in? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get queued up to a part where listen, any other time the bitch is just.
I know
Look
why
at
you
that-
get
look at that
frustrated like the
face.
rest of us.
I can't believe I'm having to look.
I'm going to tell you, I just, you know, I'd like to let them cocksuckers talk.
Oh, here we go. Okay, get ready. Here is PG in all PG's glory. Talking about having a child's picture up and speaking on a missing child. Isn't this how you want like your missing child advocate to speak?
Just to hear them talk, but I just cannot. I am not going to kiss the fucking Wells ass. I mean, if Daisy and them want to stick their noses up the Wells asses and lick their buttholes and have,
there you go. There's PG being PG. That's her. Isn't that lovely? I mean, what a classy broad. I can promise you, I have never in my life spoken like that pig just did. Like, I don't know how that even happens. How do you get to that point in your life? Well, she's always been at that point, but like, she's just so foul and sickening and disgusting. And oh, Helen, there is this as well. I'd be remiss if I didn't. Oh, Helen, right? Yeah. These people have no idea. That dude complaining about his taxes. Yeah. What the fuck's a refund? Like a refund? Yeah, no, I don't even know what that is. No, we pay in. We don't get refunds. But I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that PG's other claim to fame is she desperately wanted Don to leave Candace and bring the boys and all come and live with her. Now, that's just rumor, but it's widely believed and talked about on the YouTube streets. That little fact that I shouldn't say fact, that rumor. And not just that, but that apparently rumor has it that the reason she hates Don now is because, well, she hates him, she loves him, she hates him. Candace certainly hates PG. I don't blame her. Candace, you and I aren't often on the same page, but we are on this for sure. Yeah, well, that would be because popular opinion is that she accidentally let her camera come on and Don got a look at her and said, oh my God, yeah, no thanks. I can live in my own trailer. I don't need to go and, well, hell no, they had that was a regular house, right? Yeah. The point is Don Don very wisely decided that PG just, wasn't all that he had envisioned, I guess. I don't know. I think she's everything that I envisioned. I mean, there is this too. She has never, ever shown her face. And I mean, I, for one, probably think I should send her a thank you note for that. I don't want to see PG's face. It's bad enough we have to hear her gutter mouth. I'm pretty sure I can picture the face that goes with said gutter mouth.
Pure shit coming down off the middle of their tongues that belong to the Wells, then they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
agree.
we don't do that over here.
Oh,
We
no,
don't do that
that's
over here.
standards over
I
Over
am no
here,
well
we are
sympathizer.
Chevron sisters over here.
Yeah, I do
Over
not
here, we are going to
sympathize
put
with
our
them.
shit kickers on and we are going to give them a steel toe boot right in the
Chevron
fucking
sisters.
ass.
right?
I just wanted to know why Don said he had
Do you see what I mean when I say that they're a Mensa panel? Yeah, not so much. Yep, so there you go. That's a little taste of prayer garden for you. Yeah. Now, wouldn't you want her out here on these streets looking for your child, or, you know, grifting, paying her lot rent off of your child's name? You know how much money that bitch has? I mean, I don't know how much she's made, but I can tell you, yeah. Oh, that, yes, Mama Bear, you're right. She claims she's in her 30s. Bitch, I will eat this right here. Show your face. There's one way to find this out, PG. I will eat this tape measure. And I'll buy you a Walmart gift card. Or you're probably more like Dollar General, girl. I'll buy you a Dollar General gift card, girl. Show your face. Never. She will never, because I submit that she is possibly uglier on the outside than she is on the inside. And we've seen how filthy she is on the inside. So, yeah, she's disgusting. And you want to talk about why I think society is on a downward slope, and I'm terrified for the state of humanity, because a disgusting, foul piece of trash like you just listened to, like her, has 7,000 people that want to listen to her. And let's not forget, it's the same show every single night with the same people, typically. And it's just all summer, all the time. Oh, Remy, absolutely. I'd say if I had to like make a real educated kind of guess, I think she's probably in her 60s somewhere, and I would say she's closer to the 70 end of the spectrum than the 60. So yeah, I'd say 65 or more. Oh, SoFlo, yeah, just don't. My husband was so glad when I told him I was going to start a YouTube channel so that he didn't have to hear about all these people. That hasn't really worked out. Now he actually hears about them more now. I get you, girl. I feel you. Well, you guys, it's been 2.5 hours. We never did get to Betty. But that's okay, because that complaint, much like Betty's life, that complaint is going nowhere. So, oh, I did want to pull something. Well, I think we already kind of touched on it. The thing with the hair, how she said she had gone to the hairdresser and she's got a root zipper that big. Not quite sure what that's about. And clearly Betty hasn't been to a hairdresser in at least a few decades. But her last 2 videos, or live streams, now videos, I was looking at the beginnings before I came in here, and my goodness, she's up in the middle of the night, like very alert, we'll just say. I don't know what that's about. Oh, and it looks like that office finally got done. My God. I mean, Betty, it's much better, girl. So congratulations on that. The paint color, still hideous. But, you know, I'm glad to see you got rid of the bizarre Gabby Petito oil painting. Is that what that was?
the other day somebody was saying they thought it was Gabby Petito. Whatever it was, it's weird. You know, most grown women don't have pictures of other women in a bikini. I mean, unless they're gay. It just was weird. I don't know what that was about. And her, you know, her ever-present like Zephyr Hills water cooler thing gone. So good on you for that, Betty. I mean, you're never going to have style. That's a given, but it is a damn sight better than it was. So keep working on that. I have to say though, Betty, she made a point of showing how everything in her office is dedicated to coffee. Betty, I mean, we have these places called Home Goods, TJ Maxx, whatnot. I think they're the same parent company, where they make all this great like decor. And believe it or not, it's not all about coffee. And I don't know, it was just weird to me that my goodness, it looked like she'd been up for 2 days. And she, very proudly pointed all her coffee paraphernalia. Like, I've just never seen someone who thinks that coffee beans are home decor. I mean, it's kind of weird. She had all these like tchotchke plaques, I guess you would call them. Oh, like, look. Somebody gave this to me, one of my in-laws. I showed this to my mom. She was dying. She's like, that's hilarious. I said, I know. I think it is too. So, like tchotchkes like this. I mean, I'm looking around my office like here's one of my tchotchkes. Can you see? It says Lisa. It's a sweet little pig. It's my piggy bank. This is my shoe fund. Oh, like here's something else. This is next to me on my desk. What's it say? Keep your heels head and standards high. Coco Chanel. I mean, I have all kinds of shit like that all over my office. And Betty's got coffee pictures. And you would think that, like, kind of like when Jackie Kennedy redid the White House. Well, shit, Jackie Kennedy redid the White House faster than Betty got new tchotchke plaques for her office that revolve around coffee. My goodness, I was wondering if maybe they should revolve around something else. Just saying. Oh, Mama Bear, thank you so much. And thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Exact Love. Hi, Love. How are you? That's a new name. Oh, Bear again. Ooh, you think it's, I was thinking maybe something of the same, well, let's just say in the same family of, well, coffee's a stimulant. Yes, and Love, welcome. And I agree with you. I could understand if it was a small area in the kitchen dedicated to coffee near your coffee machine or at a coffee shop. Yes, I mean, in a kitchen, yeah, very cute. I mean, listen, I hate on her enough for real legit things that are effed up. So I'm just busting on her now, but she's a bitch and I can't stand her. So that's kind of what I do. But yeah, it's just weird. Like, you want to see what I'm getting ready to put up in my office? My sister-in-law picked these up for me the other day. I'm just taking the price tag off because, I'm not tacky like that. Which one is this? Oh, okay. So you see this lovely Louis Vuitton print.
Oh, it actually goes quite nicely against my, I think. And then there's the same background, but it's a Chanel. And then I've got some more prints. And I think what you can't really see that well, I took a picture of them in my community post. The two black and white prints, that's a Chanel lifeguard sand, and then the bottom one is a surfboard. I think I'm going to take the black and white ones and move them. What you can't see is that in front of me, there's a large, a really cool Chanel print. And I think I'm going to move those two that I just showed you. I think I'm going to put them where those black and white Chanel prints are. I'm going to move those on either side of my monitor here. And then there's other art all over the other walls, but yeah, that's how I decorate. I mean, listen, and what's funny about that, y'all, I promise you, I drink way more coffee than Betty. She thought it was some kind of flex to tell you that, oh, it ain't 30 last night. I was even making a cup of coffee. Bitch, I can get up and I can drink coffee at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not that I'm up at that hour. But I promise you, I shouldn't even tell you how much coffee I drink. I use pods most of the time. I use 9 to 10 pods a day. So like, I know coffee, but I don't want to decorate my house with it. What? What do you mean there's a Louis Vuitton plant 45 minutes from your house? Where the hell do you live? And do you have a guest room? I'll be there in an hour. What? Helen, oh my God. Listen, I was going to actually wear this shirt today. I don't know if any of you saw. I bought Savage Live Media. I bought her 4 shirts for her birthday from this funny t-shirt company I buy t-shirts from sometimes. The ones I bought her are so savage. The one that I bought me when I made my order, I made one big order and just shipped hers to her. I bought one. I will wear it. I'll wear it sometime this week. It's real bright blue, and in black graphic, it says, I need to stop spending money like I sell dope. I love that shirt. My son came over the other day and I was wearing it, and he looked at me. He was like, wow, nice t-shirt, Mom. I said, honey, it's not like I'm wearing it out. And I don't wear that when I go out. But I thought, I saw that and I was like, oh, yes, that they must have known me when they made that. Oh, well, if you go to Starbucks 5 times a day, damn, in a month, you could buy a pair of Louboutins. That shit's expensive. Do you know that the coffee, if I go to Starbucks, I get a venti skinny vanilla soy latte hot with whipped cream. I know. I know. Don't ask. And I think it's almost $7. Obscene. Hey, True Crime Dime. What the, oh, well, I have a dear friend that lives in Dallas. Oh my God, that means do you live near the In-N-Out Burger? Listen, I was in Dallas. Last time I was in Dallas was when I went to the Dior exhibit at the Dallas Museum of Fine Art, which was amazing. Oh, Self-Flow. I haven't seen it yet, but I have it. I saved it in my email, Pharrell and Louis Vuitton. I subscribe to the Business of Fashion, and it's kind of like a much more modern younger women's wear day vibe kind of thing. The business of fashion. It's logo free, right? Is that I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I just skimmed real quickly the thumbnail on the email. Oh God, Helen. Yeah. Whew. Oh, girl. Listen. One of my favorite stores, what is that outdoor shop? Highland Park. Oh God, that's like take me to church. When the last time I was there in Highland Park, they had just opened up the Love Shack Fancy boutique, which I'm a big fan of Love Shack Fancy. I adore their clothes. And they had just opened. That is a beautiful store. You know, I knew that Louis Vuitton had a, yes, now that you say that, I do remember hearing that. Although I think it's just small leather goods, right? That they manufacture there. Is that, I remember hearing that they had like a acreage with, don't they raise cows there for the leather to manufacture the small leather goods? Who docs too? Oh, that wretched bitch. Oh yes, I'm a big fan of Love Shack Fancy. Woo! Listen, if I could wear a tutu every day of my life, I would. Oh, well, wasn't that fun? I don't know how we went from coffee beans to, oh yeah, I was like, okay, Betty thinks that this is home decor, except it'll say something about coffee beans on it. Yes, this office is my this is my sanctuary. This is my one room in the house where I told my husband, like, I'm gonna have one room where I'm gonna do anything I want. I mean, I pretty much do anything I want in the rest of the house, but I try and not, like, I don't, my husband doesn't want to live in the Barbie dream house. So oh, thank you, Brittany. That's very sweet of you. Yes, you do have great shopping, and you have a damn In-N-Out burger too. So, I mean, God, what's not to like? There was something else that you all have there in Dallas that I was a big fan of that we don't have here. I can't remember. Yeah, my girlfriend was well, she still is a programmer. She works for one of the big outfits there. There's another, she took me to a place that it's a really cool outdoor shopping and restaurant venue. It's not as upscale as Highland Park, but it's similar kind of vibe. That was kind of cool. Dallas is a great town. Whataburger. Oh my God, you know what's funny? We have them here in Florida. Oh God, beer can. I remember when he talked about that stupid place, JLR did. And oh my God, you would have thought he was giving away a fucking car. When he did his big, promotion when he was pimping that stupid coffee shop, which I'm not going to say the name of. Yeah, he told all of law enforcement, and we'd back the blue. You guys can stop by any time of the day and get a free cup of coffee. Who gives a shit? They can get free coffee everywhere else too. And and something about pastry. I was like, oh, are you going to take a page out of Betty's book? You're going to give them the used pastries from the end of the day that are going in the dumpster? Tell law enforcement you just love them so much. You want to give them a stale Danish. All right, you guys, I got family coming over very soon. Said mother-in-law, as a matter of fact. She's coming over to have dinner. So I need to, goodness, time flies. It's almost 3:00. Well, at least being on YouTube keeps me off the streets. Keeps me out of the malls, that's for sure. Holy crap. I went a couple of weeks ago. I had to buy, what did I have to get? I had to get a baby gift, a nice baby gift. So I went to the mall. Oh God, when I left there, I was like, damn. Next time I get mad at YouTube and want to say F it, I need to remember how much money YouTube saves me. It really does. Because when I'm in here or I'm watching, it does. Time, when I step in this office, I have so much fun coming in here talking to you guys. And you know what? I think, I say this all the time, but I think if you're a bigger channel, or even if you're not a bigger channel, but you're just, you're on here trying to pay your bills, I don't ever want somebody to think that listen, I don't have a problem with anybody getting paid for their work on YouTube. What I do have a problem with is grifting money off the back of other people's tragedies and their worst days. That's what I have a problem with. But I've said many times that there is a lot. Thank you, SoFlo. There's a lot of freedom in just doing this for fun. Like, I don't have an agenda. I'm not in here trying to get famous. Oh, beer can. Well, I love you too, girl. One of my OGs from back the first time I was here. But there is a freedom in not having an agenda. I'm not here to make money, and I'm not trying to get famous. Clearly, I don't have a problem talking. I mean, we're almost 3 hours in now, and interestingly enough, when I was here the last time, I had a good friend who I just really envied the fact that she was one of these people who, I would have notes, but I didn't go live very much. Hey, Bama G, how you doing? Oh, well, I appreciate you listening, girl. Listen, nobody has to, don't ever feel obligated to, chat or any of that. Listen, if I make one person laugh, I really like to make people laugh is what I like to do. And if I can make people laugh at the expense of some asshole, well, all the better. But when I was here back in the day, I was very close to someone who I always envied the fact that she'd go live pretty much every day. Usually somewhat around the same time. And she just pushed the button and off you go. There was no she didn't do notes. She might have thought about what she was going to do ahead of time, but not very far ahead of time. I know that. And I just always, I always envied that. And same thing, like she wasn't, no, she definitely was looking to grow her channel, but I mean, we all are to some degree, but she was not on here paying her bills. Oh, I'm getting sued. I told the bitch, just tell me, I'll give you my lawyer's address. Just tell me, let me know. I'll tell you where to send the paperwork to. He's my registered agent or my power of attorney. No, not my power of attorney. But I was always envious of the fact that she could do that she could just push the button and off you go. And you just kind of never, it was just spontaneous and you never knew where it was going to land. And I am starting to get to the point where I'm almost getting ready to ditch. Well, I'll tell you this, my notes are getting smaller and smaller and smaller because I used to take notes on legal pads. And then I went to, and then sometimes I would type them. And then I went to like a, kind of like a bigger than this, but this made me very sad. See this? Oh, speaking of my last trip to the mall, I love Lily Pulitzer. Okay, it's just, in small doses. Well, then, oh, wait. I have to say, if I had my dream house, it would look like a Lily Pulitzer store everywhere. I love Lily Pulitzer. And if you've never been in one of their boutiques and you like pink and girly shit, go. But as I was in the mall the other day, I bought this at Lily. Now, what's that look like to you? That looks like Barbie pink paper, right? And it's got this nice little outside. Oh, and look, it even has a handy dandy pen. But of course, it's shrink wrapped. So when I get home and I'm unpacking the crap I bought, I open this up, not that day, but, a few days later. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was so pissed. Because this thing was $25, okay? And I even asked the lady, I said, does that have, because see, it was shrink wrapped. I couldn't tell if this was an insert. I said, does it have refillable inserts? No. I mean, I have the Louis Vuitton agenda from way back in the day that you can pay, you replace the inserts. Well, and that's a calendar insert as well, but only at Louis Vuitton can you spend $100 on fucking paper. Yeah, I just bought it for the outside anyway. But I went down to, something bigger than this. Now I can definitely do this. And actually even smaller. I have like, monogram personalized notepads and they come in, you get like, I think you get 8 of them, various sizes. And I've actually gotten down to like, about the size of a phone. So my notes are getting smaller and smaller. So I can maybe see a time coming where I'm just going to jot down a few things that I want to remember to talk about. But I feel like I'm kind of getting to that point where I'm just going to come in here and push the button and I'm going to go live and I'm talking about whatever the hell I want to talk about. And whoever shows up, great. But it's entertaining. It gives me something to do that's not spending money on the internet. Oh, wait. Actually, yesterday I thought about firing off a channel showing folks how to mimic or look on a budget using things from our stores. What stores? Oh, listen, I can tell you this. It's not about Oh, that's funny. Helen uses YouTube to de-stress from a high-stress job. See, I find it does the opposite with me. I find this place puts me in a bad mood sometimes. I'm just kidding. Listen, I tell people all the time, fashion and style is not about, fashion does not mean expensive. It does not mean you're wearing a dress and high heels and carrying a little purse. I mean, it's a very personal thing. And well, every woman will know what I'm talking about here. If you feel good, you will look good. I mean, unless you're somebody like Betty, but I can't imagine she feels good. I mean, Betty thinks that Guy Harvey is well, she's too cheap to buy Guy Harvey, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's not a one size fits all. It's not about, I mean, different strokes for different folks kind of thing. But if you feel good, you'll look good. I mean, and believe it or not, my uniform of choice is what I'm wearing. Except usually my jeans are torn up. Hey Rowena, how you doing? I especially the older I've gotten, this is it. I mean, I feel this is kind of my uniform. These right here, this is my armor right here. Oh, that felt so good. Can you see them this way? Look at those. Aren't those cute? These are like an architectural, isn't that wild? I mean, and believe me when I tell you, I think I said earlier, these are sitting shoes. Even walking, these are like the second time I've ever worn them, and I won't be wearing them again. They're not very comfortable. I mean, they're not horrible, but they look like you would just topple right over, what's interesting is where they're uncomfortable is at the ball of the foot. That's where they hurt. Yeah. Practice, Helen. You just got to practice. But yeah, I only come in here like during the week. I really do try and come in. I have all these clothes. That's the only reason I come in and I am dressed up, because if I don't do that, I swear to you, I'll never wear any of my clothes. This is what I wear. I don't go anywhere where I don't, where I can't wear just what I'm wearing. So even though I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt, believe me, you can make jeans and a t-shirt look really chic. Oh, I know what that means. Around these parts, they also refer to them as Sorry, y'all, I just yeeted myself. I need to yeet myself though, because I need to go and now, do you want to see me all of a sudden lose about 5 inches? I swear to you, that's how much I grew when I'll show you one more time. Okay, this is me standing in both those shoes, and this is me when I take it off. Hey, Emmy, how you doing? You're just in time. I know, right? I'm gone. All right, kids, I need to go get ready for the family's coming over. My husband's out there making it smells amazing. He's out there making a big, giant
Boston butt pork roast that he is I think is it Kansas City style, where they use he doesn't put sauce. It's like vinegar, it's a liquid what you put on it, whatever that's called. It's damn good, I know that. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight, which is good because you know what I've eaten every night for breakfast and dinner the last week or so. That would be cake. Yeah. Let them all eat cake. My damn jeans aren't going to fit if I don't stop eating cake. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I don't know. I might come in here tomorrow. It just depends on what's going on. Otherwise, I'll see you in the beginning of the week. So I hope everyone has a good day. Enjoy your weekend. Go do something fun that's not on YouTube. All right, everybody. Till we meet again, have a great day. Sorry, I'm looking for the fabulous extra music.